Trish, do you know what that is? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, do you know? I think I know what you are experiencing. And I'm like, no, I don't know. What is it? Tell me. And he was like, I think that is abundance. What you are experiencing is abundance. And I'm like, huh. I took a moment because I never really thought about it that way, that it was abundance. Well, when he said that to me, I paused for a moment and I was like, huh, wait a minute. Maybe you're right. I mean, if you really look at it practically, I don't have everything that I need. I still am working towards many things, having a sustainable income for myself and my family. I don't have everything that I want. I cannot fly to the Philippines to see my family tomorrow because I'm limited with my resources. I realized he was right. It was abundance I was experiencing. Hi there. My name is Trish or Patri, depending on where in the world we meet. Officially, my name is Patricia, which means noble. I don't come from royalty, but I am the daughter of the King of Kings. And this is Into the Woods of Faith and Entrepreneurship, where getting lost is the first step to being found. Hey, 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 what a beautiful day it is. If you are hearing some birds in the background, I am joining today from a little playground beside the park outside my house. Actually, I'm spending this morning reflecting outside in nature, and I thought, why not record something while I am enjoying this just beautiful space I am in right now. So the sun is shining on my right side. I hope it will not be too hot by the time I finish recording this. There are bird nests on the trees around me. I'm surrounded by trees and I'm sitting in this wooden bench. So whatever wants to be part of this episode, let's allow all of them to be part of this episode. You also probably might see some people running behind me. They're part of this episode. Well, welcome back. If you are here again, and if you are here for the first time, a very warm welcome to you and a big, 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 big hug. Welcome to Into the Woods of Faith and Entrepreneurship. This is not your typical business podcast. In this space, I share reflections around entrepreneurship and what it takes to build my business by faith in today's world. And today's reflection, I think, is going to be juicy. Juicy? Is that even the word I'm looking for? Maybe interesting, whatever. You know what I mean? And I say that because I think that it's been trending. So obviously you're watching this or listening to this episode and you already see the title, so you know what I'm about to tell you in a moment. But, I've been engaging with different communities across the world, some online and some in person. And this is a topic that has been discussed, has been mentioned, has been talked about. And so I know that this theme is familiar to you in some way, shape, or form. And frankly, it is not familiar to me until very recently. It's not that abundance, I'm going to say it right now, it's not that abundance is not a word that I know. I know what it is. I know what it means. It's just that I don't feel abundant in my life until very recently. So this reflection all started in my engagement with different communities, like I mentioned. When you are part of, well, I'm sure you are part of communities. Is very important these days to be part of a community. And if you're not, head over to deeply rooted dot space slash the garden. It's a community for coaches, consultants, educators, and facilitators where we help each other and support each other build ethical and sustainable businesses. Anyway, side note. So I'm sure you are part of some communities. And, every time there is a gathering, usually these gatherings start with a check in. I love check ins that allow the attendees to kind of enter slowly, like arrive gently and intentionally. I love those kinds of check ins, when it's not rushed. Typically, what happens is that we enter the room. We spend about 5 minutes in a smaller breakout session, especially when the room is kind of big, like there's many attendees, and many, I say, like for me 16 plus is many. Yeah, anything beyond that number for me is many. So usually we spend some time in a smaller breakout session. There's typically 2 or 3 people in each breakout session, and we just do a check in. We usually say where we're joining from, because it's a global community, so people are joining from all around the world. And I really like these kinds of check-ins that are just like open and unstructured, that allow you to be, like just be. Actually, in not in one, but in many of the gatherings that I've attended, in those check-ins, there's always that 1 or 2 people who check in and bring some not so pleasant news, let's say. And I totally get it. There's so much happening. If you just open your eyes and open the TV maybe, or watch news on YouTube, you'll see there's so much going on in our world today. And for me personally, I decided not to watch any of those kinds of things because it's not serving me at the moment in any way. So when you step in those kinds of gatherings, like global gatherings, you hear different things that are happening across the world. Bombings, corruption, everything. I don't even want to get started. And there came a time where I felt a bit ashamed to share my check-in, because I would usually say, I am feeling very well. I'm feeling very grateful today. I have everything that I need and so much more. And when I would say that, like, I just see the look on the faces of the people in those breakout rooms. And yeah, I started to feel a bit uneasy, uncomfortable sharing that, after hearing all these kind of negative news or negative check-ins from people. And so one day I was talking to a friend, and he said, "How are you, Trish? Haven't spoken to you in a while. How is life? What's going on? How is business, etc., etc." And I don't know, I felt called to share at that moment that I was feeling ashamed around, this idea of sharing my check-in. And so I told him, I'm going to start I'm going to answer your question by telling you that I've been feeling a bit ashamed to share how am I really doing, because to tell you honestly, I am doing very well. I feel grateful to be alive every single day. Like I have everything that I need and so much more. But I have been ashamed to say that because I hear so many people are not doing well. I see so many people who are not doing well. And so I don't feel comfortable saying that. But because, you're asking me and I feel called to share this with you right now, I'm telling you my real check-in. How about you? How are you? And he was like, Trish, do you know what that is? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, do you know? I think I know what you are experiencing. And I'm like, no, I don't know. What is it? Tell me. And he was like, I think that is abundance. What you are experiencing is abundance. And I'm like, huh. I took a moment because I never really thought about it that way, that it was abundance. Well, when he said that to me, I paused for a moment and I was like, huh, wait a minute. Maybe you're right. I mean, the truth is I don't have, if you really look at it practically, I don't have everything that I need. I don't have everything that I want. I still am working towards many things, having a sustainable income for myself and my family. I don't have everything that I want. I cannot fly to the Philippines to see my family tomorrow because I'm limited with my resources. And if you look at it that way, it's true. I don't have everything that I need and everything that I want. But I'm not looking at it from a worldview. I'm looking at it from a place of abundance. And I'm like, I couldn't find the word. And I'm like, oh, I realized he was right. It was abundance I was experiencing. I was coming from a place of just really having a lot, when in reality, I don't have a lot. I feel like I have a lot because it's like I'm overflowing. You know what I mean? Like when you're just feeling very grateful that you're alive, that your heart is even beating when you wake up in the morning, that you even have a roof above your head, that you even have breakfast to eat, the first meal of the day to eat. You have it right in front of you. It just feels overflowing, like God's blessings is just overflowing through me. And I remember at one point in the conversation, I said, he was like, kind of like that waterfall. It's always flowing. It's always there. Whatever happens, it's always pouring. I feel like that's you. Like I can see you as like that. And I'm like, actually, yeah, that's right. I feel as though, and I told him, I feel like this faucet, like I am turned on at the moment, and there's just things flowing through me. And I was like, oh, I see the similarities in the metaphor that he used versus the metaphor that I used to describe what I'm feeling at the moment. And I'm sharing this not for anything else, but just to really encourage you and to remind you that you too have everything that you need and so much more. Like sometimes we forget how much we have because of the things that we want to have that we don't yet have. And it's really important to take a moment to just come back to the basic things that we need to live in today's world. And I know that, there's just so many things going on. There's so much to buy, so many available things, so many innovations, so many things. But I want to remind you today through this reflection that I've written in my notebook to check in with yourself. What are you actually experiencing? Do you have this abundance inside you? How can you take that and live it in a day-to-day life amidst everything that's happening? Because I've realized that abundance is just, it's not about having everything. It's about that feeling of having enough. And that feeling of having enough makes you feel like you have everything. And I know that that doesn't make sense. But if you just live under God's grace, if you live under His wings, His protection, His provision, abundance is there. You can reach it. You can tap into it. You can access it. And so I want to take a moment here with you to sit quietly. See what's going on in your life right now. Be mindful of all the little things that you have. Be grateful that your health is good. You have a roof above your head. You have food. Everyone that you love is safe and secure. Even if you have things that you need and things that you want, why don't we be grateful for the things that we already have and are already provided for us? And so maybe you might be thinking, I want that. I want that kind of abundance. I want that feeling of abundance. How can I find that? How can I embody that? How can I apply that in my life? And I have one very practical thing that I can offer you today, and I call it the gratitude jar. It's very simple. You don't even need to spend money on it. All you have to do is find a place in your home where you can put a bowl. Beside the bowl, put pieces of papers. Beside that, put a pen. Maybe put it in a place in your house where everyone passes by, where it's a common area for all, maybe your husband or your kids, or if you're living alone, a place where you pass by often on a day-to-day basis. And whenever you pass by this bowl, take that pen, take that paper, write one thing you are grateful for that moment. It can be something simple or something complex. It can be something material or something not. Whatever it is, it's the idea, it's the practice that you are writing down what you're grateful for at that moment. It's that practice of thinking and being mindful about everything that you have, everything that is provided for you at the moment, writing it down and materializing it. And you'll see if you do that, if you practice that on a daily basis, you'll see that in a month's time, you'll have many papers in that bowl. And maybe one dinner time, it would be a nice activity to open those papers and read them aloud in front of everyone. And it creates that feeling, it creates that sense of abundance. It's like, oh, you have everything that you need and so much more. So there's nothing really special in what I'm sharing with you today. This is not a new idea. This is not a groundbreaking, innovative idea. I'm not teaching any of that. I was just like, let me come out to the park. I've been really feeling abundance in my life. I'm understanding what it means. I'm understanding what it looks like. I am understanding what it feels in the body. I'm understanding how it impacts other people around me. I want to share this because I think it's super important, especially to those building a business by faith in today's world. I feel as though abundance is such a character that we must possess, that we must embody, that we must practice, so that when other people see, they're like, oh, how can you have that? And then in return, you could be like, I'm under God's grace. You know, I don't know. I'm under God's grace. And that's just such a good news that I kind of just, wanted to sit down here while having this reflection, record myself, and share this with you. Let those who have ears hear this message. Let those who need nourishment, fortifying, strengthening, abundance, let this message land on you today. I'll leave this here for now, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Ciao for now.